Just a couple days ago, on Masahiro Sakurai's YouTube channel, Masahiro Sakurai on Creating Games, in a video titled "The Team Behind Super Smash Bros. Brawl Grab Bag," towards the end of the video, he talked about the future for Super Smash Bros., to which he said in so many words that he does not envision the next Smash Bros. Game without him and that he would like to work with Nintendo in the future, but currently they're still figuring out what they're going to do next. And from this, I think there are some significant takeaways. One of which is that Sakurai still intends to be at the helm for the Smash Bros. Series, and he has yet to train up that person that will be his successor. It's possible that person may already be in mind, but he still feels that he needs to be at the helm. This also suggests that there's been at least some conversations about what's to come after Smash Ultimate, but if we take what Sakurai is saying at face value, nothing has been solidified yet. So based off these factors and other circumstances that are going on right now, I think there's an intriguing possibility that may be at hand that could be very exciting for a lot of Smash Bros. Fans. And that's what we're talking about today.
Hey, listen!
Welcome everyone, this is Andres Restart, and this time we're talking about the future of the Super Smash Bros. Series, because we got some big news from Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Smash Bros. Himself, saying that he does intend to still make Smash Bros. Games in the future, and that they are currently still trying to figure out what's to come next. But before we go further, let me point out that we are aiming to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're actually closing in on 30, we're just a few hundred away. So if you do enjoy my content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. With your help, it just might be possible. So keeping in mind this latest news from Masahiro Sakurai, what should we expect for the future of the Smash Bros. Series? Well, something that I think is important to consider here is that if we take what Sakurai is saying at face value, development for the next Smash Bros. Game has yet to begin. And this is interesting because we're closing in on 2 years from the release of the last character from Fire's Pass Volume 2 for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Come this October will have been 2 years since it's all been complete. And what makes this even more interesting is when you consider that the gap of time that it took to make Smash Ultimate was about 2.5 years. So Smash Ultimate came out towards the end of 2018, and that gap of history dates us back to around the time, within a few months, of when they finished up the DLC for Smash for Wii U and 3DS. They didn't decide to jump into development for the next Smash Bros. Game immediately afterwards. They have yet to even start. And with all of the talk and speculation going on right now that maybe Switch 2, the next big system, is coming out next year, we're hearing a lot of different financial reports for different manufacturers of a new console coming out next year, potentially even early next year. If this is to be the case, Smash Bros. Doesn't look like it's going to be ready anytime soon. But typically, Smash Bros. Games come out within the first 2 years of a system's life cycle. Smash 64 was the first game in the series, so at that point perhaps they hadn't quite figured out that they want this kind of title to be a mainstay per generation, but it came out early 1999, and 64 came out 1996. But Super Smash Bros. Melee was one of the first few titles that launched in the first few days of the Nintendo GameCube. Then Super Smash Bros. Brawl came out January 2008, less than 15 months after the release of the Nintendo Wii. Almost within a year. Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS are the really big exceptions. They both came out in 2014, 3DS launched early 2011, and the Wii U launched late 2012. And the Wii U, well, it was Nintendo's worst home console ever in terms of sales. And then for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it came out at the end of 2018, the Switch launched in early 2017, it came out in less than 2 years. Considering that the most successful Smash Bros. Games, Melee, Brawl, Ultimate, all came out early in their system's life cycles, I think Nintendo understands that this is a series they want available early on their system. But with development yet to have even started, and with the new system seemingly likely coming out sometime next year, I know there's some debate there, but many think it's happening, it does not look like we are positioned to get a Smash Bros. Game early for the next system. But I also gotta say, with how big Smash Ultimate is, I don't really feel like we need a Smash Bros. Game immediately. Of course, I say that now. We're less than 2 years removed from the last of the DLC. What will I say 2 years from now? I might feel a little differently. I think the situation we're looking at here is going to be different from prior situations. The next system, I would say, is likely to be backwards compatible with the Nintendo Switch. It's such a successful system, and typically when Nintendo has a very successful system, they follow it up with a system that is similar that's also backwards compatible. So it may be the case that Nintendo may prop up Smash Ultimate as the Smash Bros. Game to still play on the next system, at least for the first couple years. So how do they do that? Well, DLC. So how this would work, it might work very similarly to the Booster Course Pass in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's DLC that was added to a big popular Nintendo game that's been selling throughout its entire generation, and they've added 2 years worth of content. I don't know if they would add 2 whole years of extra content, maybe a year. The thing about the Booster Course Pass is that it's content that keeps Nintendo Switch Online members engaged. It's something we can play online. It's something that's added for free for those who are a part of Nintendo Switch Online, the expansion version at least. So once that's done, Nintendo's going to need to move on to something else to keep fans and players engaged. So what's a comparable game that has a high sales potential, that's been evergreen, continually selling, staying relevant throughout the Switch generation, that's a multiplayer, online-centric kind of game that is well suited to be getting DLC updates on a regular basis? There's a few options, but the next big popular option, outside of maybe Animal Crossing, which I wouldn't say is the best suited for multiplayer, it does have it, but it's not maybe its big focus, it wouldn't necessarily market the online as much, it would be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the most popular, successful fighting game of all time. So I think a Volume 3 for Smash Ultimate actually has a decent chance to be happening because it looks like they haven't started development for the next Smash Bros. Game yet, and they need to have new Smash content readily available for the next generation. So I think they're going to prop up Smash Ultimate. Maybe they'll give it a graphics enhancement patch. Maybe it'll be Smash Ultimate in 4K. Maybe they'll fix up the online code so online will be better, which would make sense if they're going to use this to prop up and market Nintendo's online service. And then if you have the expansion pack, you get Volume 3 for free. And they'll be adding characters for, I think, at least a year. It wouldn't be anything extremely substantial. Maybe 5 to 6 characters, 5 to 6 stages. But it would be enough to excite fans, reignite that Smash hype, get people speculating and conversing the same way it happened during the Smash Ultimate and its DLC cycle, which is great for the early part of a system's life cycle, all that hype and conversation, and that might give them just enough time to sort of figure out what direction they want to go in for the next Smash Brothers and set up development so when that Smash Bros. Game is ready, maybe about 3 or so years from now, they can go ahead and do that. Kind of like how there seems to be this growing belief that once the Booster Course Pass ends this year, maybe about a year or so afterward, we will see news for the next big Mario Kart game. So there won't be that large of a gap between the DLC and the next new game. It isn't like the DLC is going to push up the next new game so far out, but what it's going to do is facilitate more content to keep us excited and engaged and help carry over things until the time is right for the next big game, while also bringing in sales and helping out the next big system. But that's my take on the matter. What do you guys think? Do you think new Smash content is on the way? Or do you think we're years away? Let me know in the comments below. This is Andres Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.